with me today. I am here. Yes, I am. And it's a pleasure always to be sitting in the hot seat of Street 99 FM. Want to thank Bruce Wayne and the Titans of Democracy for holding it down the first part of this morning from 6 to 9. The Titans of Democracy on the Street 99 FM. Also, we want to say thank you to all our sponsored segments. And today's program with Pastor Johnson was well in how to put it? It was a program that I think was really needed at this time. So I want to thank Pastor Johnson and the Firstborn Assembly in Sandy Grande for their program today. Well-intentional, well-intentional, a very good program. Also, the GAP program, I want to say thank you to the GAP program for being with us also. So it's my turn now to take you till about 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And then from 1 to 2, you have Bishop Iwer Williams coming on. So it's already 25 past 11. And I wanted to touch on several things today pertaining to the protests, pertaining to policing, pertaining to, incidents that's happening all over Trinidad. Well, that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. And yesterday, I would have looked, and intentionally, I just would have given you highlights on what was happening. And it's happening again, if you don't know. Breaking news coming to hand to the Street 99 FM. The protest has warmed up again on the B-Tom. So there are some video footage that I can show you of what's happening presently on the B-Tom. And just for you to be aware of and to be careful on your journey into Port of Spain or out of Port of Spain, wherever you're trying to reach to today. Just give you a little update from time to time as information comes to hand. So, let me just show you some video footage of what is taking place presently on the B-Tom. They have already started back some fire. I want to show you from where. Let me show you from where they started, all right? So things have been starting, heating back up, as they would say. Things are heating up. So let me show you where things are heating up from. So this is when they started to put the rubbish in the road. So I'll show you that. Where is it? Right, so here is where they started to put the rubbish in the roads. I will give you an idea. So if you're joining me on Facebook and on YouTube, you will see where it's starting back up again. So that's the rubbish. Plywood and stuff is being thrown in the road. The bus have to be like squeezing past. So if you join me on the Street 919 FM Facebook page, you want to see it. If you are on YouTube, you're going to see it. So give you some chance. I'm not seeing people on YouTube joining me. Thank you very much. Remember, you can join me on YouTube. Just type in Iwer TV. And if you are on Facebook, you can join me on Facebook as we speak. So that is what's happening presently. But they're throwing rubbish and rubble. That's on the B-Tom and that's on the Parity bus route. Right? Let me show you some other video footage that I got today. This morning, I just got it into my mail on my WhatsApp, and I will show you it. So this is, and I can't play the audio because there is obscene in the audio. So I want to break no broadcasting code. All right. So let me show you what's going on here. I'll just show you, and for those of you who are listening on the radio and you're not seeing, so this is where people are coming out. All right. This is on the B-Town. People are coming out in the streets. The young men are out on the streets, and people are making their voices heard. So join me on the live, and you would see. So just giving you an update on what's going on. So if you are joining me on Facebook, thank you very much. Those of you joining me on YouTube, again, thanks a whole lot for your company. You could have been anywhere else, but you're choosing to be with me right here, and I appreciate that a whole lot. So, and again, let me show you now. So the fire has started. So let me show you where I got the video about the fire in the road. This is the video of the fire in the road. All right. So if you are passing on the priority bus route, if you're passing anywhere in this vicinity, this is what you're going to see. All right, this is what you're going to see. If you're seeing it, as I said just now, I cannot play the audio because there is obscene in the audio. So that's the fire being lit on the priority bus route. Okay. So as more information comes to hand, I will show you, I will keep you up to date with what is going on. All right. So, yep. So it's all started again. It's all started again. Right. So I'll show you some more highlights as the program, as we continue. I will show you more highlights, but I wanted to deal with some other issues. Well, not other, but, deal with issues surrounding what is going on. So this is another video footage, I believe, of what is taking place presently. Right, so let me show you this. So if you are on our live, I'm going to show you another video of what's happening, where more protest is continuing in Trinidad and Tobago. If you're outside of Trinidad and you want to know what's going on, you are at the right place, on the right station to know what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So let me show you this, give you a highlight of what's going on presently out on the streets. All right, let me give you an idea. I'll give you that idea now.
Community the way you are going. Not going for the community the way you are going. Not going.
Sometimes I have to vet these things before I play them. There's one time I played something and then it got me in trouble. So I'm not going to play anything with audio that I haven't vetted. And I'm sorry, you find I'm just talking, and I'm not showing you what I have to vet it first. If I don't, I'm going to get myself into more problems that I don't need. So come on the live, as I said just now, and you're going to see I'm going to get it up and running in a short bit. I just have to ensure that this is not going to get me in trouble. Fair enough? I know you all understand, it's just that sometimes you all are impatient and you all try to, not bully me. Stop talking, show the video. Yeah, I will show the video, but I'm not going to get myself in problems with the video. All right, so I think I have it here now, line up. So come on the live and you'll see what I'm talking about. Make sure the volume is up right. So this is what's happening presently. So as the information comes to hand, I will show it to you. Right.
Their rage over the police-involved shooting of 3 young men in Port of Spain on Saturday was all too obvious today. It started on the eastbound lane of the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway. This officer tried to calm the residents, but their pain was not so easily quelled. They are questioning the role of the TTPS.
Come on, man, police can serve. They're killing the youths. They're killing the youths. I want people to hear that they're killing the youths.
And while the officers were busy ensuring the eastbound lane remained clear, fires were being set along the westbound lane and on the street leading into Sealots. Traffic was soon backed up leading in and out of the city in a gridlock that lasted hours. Heavily armed police on the scene in Sealots faced off with residents who tried to explain why they took this action.
We tried to hold up the trail last night for the children and them, right? And about 18 come and kicking down candles and all kind of thing that is for innocent children.
Soon the roads leading in and out of Port of Spain were blocked off, and those trying to get into the city were being turned back long before they could reach the burning debris. This swim called tire recycling facility in Sealots also became a target. And despite the best efforts of the fire services, the capital was quickly blanketed with smoke. Those trying to find alternative routes into the capital were also out of luck, as the Lady Young road into Port of Spain was blocked. But with heavily armed police and officers of the TNG regiment on the scene, the fires eventually burnt out and some semblance of normality returned. Charlene Rampasad, CNC 3 News.
Yeah, drop your attitude and show some gratitude. All the negative energy you got to refuse. Let God be your fuel, you don't be no fool. Educate yourself, cause in this world knowledge rules. And energy is real, so watch the things you do. Ain't no missing that shit for real, yes I'm telling you. So live in love, live in love. Say them a rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a rasta, and the boy no know a scripture. Them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah.
Nothing a gwan for the community the way you are gwan. Nothing a gwan for the community the way you are gwan. Nothing a gwan for the community the way you are.
All right, so I'm back with you, and I'm here, So we're talking about what happened yesterday and what is apparently going down again today. Police brutality. People are saying that they don't trust the police. People are saying that they need justice. People are saying that the police need to come clean. People are saying that they've had enough. And some people are saying that they want to see the video footage of what took place because they don't trust the police based on stories that would have come out before, where they would have misled the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Jacob, and stuff like that. I keep hearing this morning on my way to work, several taxis, you heard different viewpoints. One commentator said he agreed with the protests, the actions of the citizens. Another commentator said he disagreed with the actions of the citizens. If they have a problem, if they want to protest, you don't have a problem with their protesting. But if they want to protest, make your way down to the admin building of police service in Port of Spain and protest down there. Don't block the road and put your fellow citizens out of compliance and stuff like that. But one particular talk show host this morning, I listened to him and I was like, but what kind of madness is this? He said he totally agreed with the actions of the residents. Totally agree with the actions of the residents. And one caller called in and said to him, if the results or the video footage was to show that the young men were on foolishness, would you still agree with the actions of the residents? And the caller called in and he would have made a salient point. He said, if the actions of the police was wrong, right, the residents would believe that what they did was right. And if the actions of the police was, as they would say, right, the residents will still think that they are right because they believe that they should still not handle them the way they are. So there's no coming or reasoning at all where that is concerned. Now, I want to say this, I don't have a problem with protesting, There are several things in this country that I think I could go out and really protest about. I'll tell you one of them that always comes to mind. There was a young man living in, what area is that across the road from up Success Laventille up there, up on the hill up Success Laventille. I can't remember the name of the area right now. Where Success Laventille school is up there. I can't remember the name of the area presently. But there's a story in the newspapers one time of a young man left home to go to the shop to buy something. and he was robbed his cell phone. And because he wasn't willingly able to give over his cell phone, he was shot in his head. I never saw the community, Pitom, Silots, Mova, come out and burn tire to find the fellas or fella or whoever done that to that little boy. I never see them come out. You know what upsets me more about that? About this whole thing that as I said, I don't have a problem with your protesting, you know. I had a young lady, I had a mother in this studio. That was the time I used to work night. I had a mother in the studio. Listen to me carefully, you know. I want to make sure that my mic not too loud, because I don't want to come across arrogant and condescending. But when you listen to me, I remember sitting in this studio, and a mother came in to this studio, and she said to me that her son, listening, her son didn't want to join a gang in the community. The gang leaders wanted to recruit her son to be a member of the gang in the community. And he refused to join the gang. You listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago? And when he refused to join the gang, one day, they threatened him. And he told his father, Daddy, the gang leaders and them threat man told me that if I don't join the gang, they are going to kill me. His father said, what? He said, yeah, Daddy, they threatened me. Well, listen to my story, you know, and this is one of these days I must try to pull back that audio, or I would try to get the mother back in the studio. Listen to me carefully. So the mother, he told his father, he said, Daddy, they threatened to kill me if I don't join the gang. The father said, what? Nah, man. So every day, the father, when he has to go out or go to work, his father would go with him, walk him out the road. And this day, a day, they decide to accost the father and son. They accosted the father and the son. The father run one way, the son run the other way. They ran down the son, kill him. Ran down the father, kill him. You're listening? And then they threatened the mother and other sons, move out of the community. Move out. She had to move out and leave her house. You listening? And up to this day, she can't even move back into her own house. I never hear a protest for that. So while you have a right to protest because you believe that the young men in your community are being targeted and murdered, but as I always say, there is no right way to do the wrong thing. And you might be vexed with me. You might take it off your radio from on me and the Bitom. But I'll tell you this. You see, when you could protest for people who doing the wrong thing to innocent people, just like how you believe that the young men who were shot at and murdered in Port of Spain Saturday morning, you believe that they were innocent and wrongly accused? I want you to do the same thing for people who have lost their life in your community. for no reason. There was a young man from my church who went to do some woodwork. He went to do some kitchen cupboards for a lady in the Beatum. And they kill him because he get paid and he didn't want to give him the money.
The things you do ain't no messing that you for real, yes, I'm telling you. To live in love, live in love. Say them a rasta, and them not know about.
And never hear a tire burn for that youth man. So I give you 3 stories. 1, the little boy with his cell phone boy. That little boy went to buy something in the shop. And because he didn't want to willingly give over his cell phone, they shot him in his head. There was not 1 tire burn. 2, the mother who lost her son and husband because a little boy didn't want to join a gang and they hunt him down because he ran away and they shoot him. She can't even live in the community again because they take over her house. And then I want to talk about the youth man from my church who's a carpenter. Who was a carpenter. You hear me? And came to do some cupboard work in the Beatum. Got paid because he didn't want to give over the money, they kill him. 3. And don't let me start with 4 because I have a 4th one. So don't play games. If you're standing up for something, stand up for something. Don't play games with people. But here what I'm saying to you though. You could protest now. I don't have a problem with you protesting. Find your way down by admin building. Police admin building. Find your way down there. And protest. Make all the noise you want to make. Shout down the place as loud as you want to. Rock the building with your voice. And demand justice. But demand justice for everybody now. To demand justice for only who you feel deserve it. And to the police officers who listen. Because I know a lot of you listen. And I've said it here on many occasions. And I'll keep saying it over and over. Some of you need to learn basic manners, boy. Like good morning, good afternoon, good night. Basic. I have a video with a police officer addressing a young man. I want to show it. A police officer yesterday, in the midst of all the bacchanal, a police officer yesterday made his way to Nelson Street and was talking to some young men. I want you to hear how he spoke to them. You see this police officer, I will highlight him today. I will light him up. I will highlight him today. I will show you police officers, some of you who don't understand what we mean by taking full control of a situation. I want you to listen to this. I want to show you how a police officer dealt with some young men yesterday. And police officer, I don't know who you are. I don't know which station you are assigned to. But I am highlighting you today on the way you dealt with some young men on Nelson Street. Hats off to you. Look at this Trinidad and Tobago. Look at this police officer. And tell me if you think that this police officer, and let me show you how life is. After the police officer did what he did, there were some men among them who say, "Well done, officer." Watch it. We like games in this country. We know how to do the right thing, you know. Listen to this.
come to here, Wanna block the road for come? You
Police killing.
Hey. You see that? Me and police killing. Brother man, I'm telling you. Brother man, I am telling you, we're not encouraging a block road. Desist from that. That is against the law. Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking to you. All right, boss? I've spoken to you.
Good work. Thank you, young man officer. Good work.
Well done, officer. You hear what the man say? You hear what the man say? Good work! Good work, officer. Good work! And he called the young man by his name and he said, Mr. Desist and desist. Huh? You know why he could have done that? You know why this particular officer could have done that? Because he has a relationship. He know the fellas and them. He know what he could say to them. You know how he could say it to them that will cause an effect. Some of you officers don't know how to speak to people. You all have no idea of how to speak to human beings. So they think it's some little dog on the side of the road. And I'm not saying that there is not a place and a time to be stern and to be rough. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that you could use different strategies. Strategize. Understand? But hear what now? So I see we getting ready to go for the news. And I just say, sometimes I just find I just talk a little too much. But to the radio announcer boy, this morning, who would have misled people to believe that, hey, if you want justice, that is the route to go. You want rubbish. I say so. You want rubbish. And you all are the problem. You one of the problems in this country. You who don't know how to use your microphone to bring proper justice and proper reasoning to people, but encourages and enhances the ignorance on a youth station. You are nonsense. I'll take this mic and tell you that. Because at the end of the day, the same way we could point out the wrong that the police just do, the same way we could point out the wrong and the rubbish in our communities. You understand? And I stand by what I say. If you can't stand up for innocent people in your community, who the gunmen and them gunning down and innocent brothers who they shooting down, you can't burn them tires for them, then you're on rubbish. Innocent people in your community losing their lives. Innocent people. And I always point it out, the youth man with our cell phone, he was going to Success Lab until everything about that little boy coming back to my mind now. He was going to Success Lab until he was an intelligent little fella. He was an exemplar. Went to buy some cricks, boy. Cricks. It come into my head for his grandmother. And fellas in the community shot him in his head for his cell phone, and not one tire burn, and not one of you want to come now and call and tell me, but oh, it's the and want to. But if they protesting about that, I want to come up the hill there and protest. I told you. And you know what they will say? all that passion and all that charisma and all that talk you talk in the Google ain't gonna change nothing, you know. Yeah, but at least it come off my conscience. At least I saying it so that it will be the atmosphere, so that somebody it will pick up on it and understand that people seeing it for what it is, boy. What about that lady who living by she brother for years? From house to house, pillar to post. Can't move back in your own community. Because your son don't want to join a gang and they kill the woman's son. You know, I never hear none of all the call, boy. And but you know what? When the stigmatized and we don't understand, and you psychology, and you need to understand and what we have been through and all. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, you know. I hear you when a youth man, a young man, meet a young lady, and they decide that they like each other, and she from a certain community and the young man from another community might be from south, and he decide, well, yeah, trotting up the road to look for my girlfriend, and you get licks. It's a joke. But that is another story. We're going for a break and come back. And when I come back, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a flashback of when this incident happened, how much years ago? I think it was a year or 2 years ago. 3 years ago, someone I can't remember, with the young man who got killed up Mova, and you all protest. I want to show you a video of an announcer and how she felt when she saw you all doing what you're doing. When you come back after the break, don't touch your dial. Stay right here. The drama now start.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919.